Jessica Jones Season 2 finale, aka Playland. So, like I said, this is Jessica Jones. I mean, things are looking up for Malcolm, which is nice. Trish may or may not have like some weird sort of like accuracy sort of power, so I'm curious how that'll play out in Season 3. But it was just nuts. And it started off kind of simple. It's like, okay, I just felt, like I said, I was like, my main prediction is I'm pretty sure her mom has to die. Her mom is kind of nuts. So I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know how that's going to play out, but she can't live. That would be too good. It would be too nice, for Jessica Jones. And they go through, and I think the worst thing about it is, of course, the fact that it seemed like it was kind of on the rise. It was like, Jessica was freaking out in the beginning, and then they have like this crazy superhero mother-daughter bonding moment where they save this family, and even the driver from the crazy explosion where all the tankers are just blowing up into the air and crashing down. And they have this crazy moment where they bond, and then Jessica's, like with her mom and everything, throughout the episode. And of course, Trish was like, her mom is, kidnapping her and manipulating her, and it's like, I have to find a way to stop him. And of course, she knew where to go by the end. So she takes off, and it's just like, everything was building up, and I'm like, I just don't really see this going too well. And it was not, it wasn't like generic, TV writing sort of style where it's like, Trish shows up and she's like, get away from Jessica, and they have a whole argument. It was just like, you didn't know how close she was. You knew that she kind of knew where to go. And they're just on the Ferris wheel. And they're just on the Ferris wheel. It's just going around, and they're just talking. And then it was just like, her mom was kind of giving that I'm about to die speech anyway, where it's like, maybe I don't need to be perfect or anything. It's, I already made you. And it's like, Mom, I'm not going to let you. And then just boom, and she's dead. And I was just like, holy crap. I had to rewind it because I was like, it was so jarring. I was like, that didn't make any sense. It was just like confusing that it even happened. And then just, of course, Trish and naturally Jessica was super pissed off. And I kind of like that scene. Like, she drops down and she was just mad, and she pushed her super hard because it's Trish, so you don't think she's really gonna do much. And she was pissed, and she just pushed her like way down, and she even picked up the gun. And it was just like, that is insane. And it was just like, boom, I killed her before she could hurt you. And it's like, that wasn't your call and stuff like that. And of course that destroys them. Like, even when they have that moment at the end where Trish is like, I called you and I sent texts and everything. It's like, I can't be around you. Every time I see you, I see the fact that you killed the only family that I had left. So that was just nuts. And it was like, that's just a crazy scene. And her there when the cops and SWAT arrive, and she's just in like the little carousel thing, and it was just like, it's just nuts. It's like, what do you do with that? Especially with like that whole day where it was actually this weird thing where she was building up to actually, wanting to be with her mom. And then that's just how it ends. It's like, Jessica Jones, effing depressing, like so freaking depressing. But the other stories were much nicer. Malcolm, cuts his hair and everything. He's full on. He's dressed up, and he kind of goes his own route as far as PI work, and he's able to help Jerry. Like, he basically went like super PI. Like, he put the suit on, and he had like the little spy camera and everything. It's just like, dang, that was like a cool move. So he's able to get a bunch of money from Jerry, and then he ends up actually going to Chang, who does make his final appearance. So they become the associates of Hogarth and Associates. So I was like, all right, he's gonna be with her now. So I thought that was pretty cool. And Chang, I'm assuming, is gonna now be at least a recurring character, if not a main character. So I was like, all right, well, that's definitely cool for Malcolm. Jerry got her deal going where she got like way more money. Both of the other people are gone, so she has, I think she mentioned it was like technically every client that she had was like 62%, including, of course, Danny Rand. So naturally it has to go that way. But it was like, crap, that was pretty insane. So she's left, and now the other two are kind of left with whatever they got, with the rest of the company. So I was like, all right, that was, that worked for Jerry. I guess the woman who was her yoga teacher is like, I don't know what she is, because I'm pretty sure that was her at the end as well. That looked like her because she had the same hairstyle. But I wasn't paying that much attention. But I was like, I think that's the same woman that was her yoga teacher, and they obviously had like some sort of relationship, and it was super funny when she's doing the yoga, and it's like, and we'll go into this stretch, and Jerry's just like, yeah, but so I thought that was super funny. But when Malcolm like showed up, she was like basically about to crawl right towards him. I'm like, man, either she is just like instantaneous, I'm about to bang you, or they already, did stuff that's just like the relationship they have. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was her. So she went from like her yoga teacher to her assistant. So it was like some weird relationship there. But it was just like, all right, for those two characters, for Jerry and Malcolm, it was like, cool, things are looking up, And like I said, Malcolm did his thing, and he, spy camera and all that stuff. He's now with Chang. They're now the associates of Jerry Hogarth and Associates. Jerry's got her own official firm with 62% of the clientele that she had with, that she had to share with two other people. So things are kind of looking up for both of them. And then there are other two characters. It's just like, this is real bad. It's all left up. I mean, I don't know how sad things are really going to be for Trish because, she's got superpowers. She's got the weird accuracy thing going. So that should be cool to see. And with Jessica, it was funny because I mentioned, like, my whole theory was, like, it's probably going to be exactly what Jessica Jones is. Like, oh, people die. Oh, got to keep on keeping on. And that was almost like the exact ending dialogue where it was like, every day's the same and people are dead, people keep dying and some people change, some people don't. And I was like, that is almost exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. But she does have her moment at the end where she gets to kind of start over. It almost, in a sense, it takes her back to so the flashback episode where she's able to have someone that kind of knows her deal and is in, some stuff himself, and she's able to kind of have that. She's able to have something new. So I really love that idea, and I'm very excited. Honestly, I was excited going into this season with how the last one ended, like Malcolm joining her and stuff. And now, like, he's his own thing, and he kind of hates Jessica, and Jessica, kind of hates Trish, and Trish is just like, I really wish I had my sister, but now I got superpowers. So there's a lot that I'm looking forward to, and I feel like, I'm obviously with the whole crossover stuff, we probably won't have anything like the Defenders for quite a while, but with the way some of the stuff changed in this, specifically with Jerry, of course, I'm excited to see how that actually does affect some of the other shows. I think Daredevil and Iron Fist are definitely going to be the biggest two, and that's only because obviously with Daredevil, you have Foggy, so they'll probably mention that a lot, and he'll probably be kind of in the middle there, where it's like, man, do I stay with them or do I just go with Jerry because she's got like the big clients? And obviously, Iron Fist is, he works with Jerry, so she'll be there, but I feel like they could have some interesting stuff, and we might even get to see Malcolm as a part of that because now he's one of the associates. We might see him or Chang involved in some Daredevil stuff or even some of the Iron Fist stuff. So I think that would be really cool too. But really enjoyed the season finale. I honestly, I was like, with the way everything kind of ended and the way things are going with Jessica starting like a new family, Trish having powers, Malcolm doing his thing with Jerry. There's a lot of stuff where it's like, this is a huge difference compared to the last season where it was like they beat the bad guy and Malcolm he kind of recuperated from being mind controlled, and it was like, all right, get back into the game, and now he's joining her and it's gonna help his life get better. But it was like, all right, that's a nice change. They're both kind of recuperating from some madness, and this is like they recuperated a little bit of extra madness, especially for Jessica, and now everyone's lives are on like totally separate paths. They aren't aligned anymore, but they did have the passing glance where Malcolm, of course, was at his door, but he watched Jessica walk away, and she did turn to look at him before she went down the hall, and it was like, can't hate don't hate you 100%, but kind of hate you a little bit, so I'm not gonna say anything and walk away. So I'm sure they'll be cool, but at least by the end of the third season, I'm sure they'll be fine. If we don't see them somehow interact, in some of the other shows, depending on how that ends up playing out. But really love the season finale. Definitely excited for season 3. Who knows when that'll come? I feel like it took us a million years to finally get season 2 of the show, because I'm like, if I remember right, this was the second show that came out, and it was like, it just felt like it was 100 million years. It was Daredevil, then it was Jessica Jones, and then Iron Fist. I think Daredevil season 2 came out before Luke Cage. I can't even remember. And then the Defenders. Like, there are so many shows that came out before Jessica Jones season 2, even though of course we got to see finally what everybody was doing as far as Jessica Jones characters, in at least somewhat, we saw them in the Defenders. But I'm really happy we got this season. It was really, really well done. Like, overall, I really love this, and I think it's hard to say because Kilgrave was such a great villain, but I would honestly say I think I like this season even more than I like the first one, just because of how they dealt with that trauma. Like, it was a different type of trauma than she dealt with before, and they had a specific episode where she still had to go back to kind of like the first season and deal with that sort of trauma, like killing someone. So really, really enjoyed it. I love the way it played out. Depressing, sort of ending, where her mom just being shot by her best friend or by her sister. So just like, that's Jessica Jones, depressing as hell, but great freaking show. Great second season for sure. I definitely loved it. Of course, would love to know what you guys thought about the season finale. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it. All in all, do you like this season more than you like the first season? Do you think the weird sort of in between, like the blurred line of having Jessica's mom as the main villain. I've been calling her Jessica's mom like the whole season, but it's Elisa is her name. But having her mom is also as the main villain. Did you like that idea? Did you not like that? Because I thought it actually worked really well. I mentioned that in my last review, but I thought it was really interesting. It was like that's a weird. Like I said, it's a weird in between where it's like she's losing her mind and she's the bad guy, but it's Jessica's mom. So it's like I thought you've been dead for all this time and you've been alive. What do we do with that? Like how do we make this work? So I actually really liked it for that because, like I said, it led to that different type of trauma compared to Kilgrave, where it was like I was just straight up mind controlled and did horrible things and had horrible things done to me. This was a different version of that trauma. So it's just like, man, it's nuts. It was entertaining for me to watch that, and also the extra stuff we got from Malcolm and Trish was great this season, compared to what we got in the first season, where it was just like them helping her out or Malcolm being the junkie, and we find out that he was mind control, which was a pretty crazy twist in the first season. Like, dang, Kilgrave just ruined this dude's life. It was just nuts, but Kilgrave. But really enjoyed this season. Like I said, definitely want to know what you guys thought about this finale. Favorite parts, least favorite parts. And of course, definitely want to know what you guys thought about this season as a whole. How you guys think it compares to season 1, favorite parts in this compared to your favorite parts in season 1. Definitely, like I said, the main villain element and not having a straight up clear villain, because Kilgrave was just like the worst thing ever. So definitely want to know how you guys feel about it. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.